So hi there and welcome back to my channel. This new video is about another of the nice pieces made by Burago. Burago that is no longer an Italian company despite the name was taken from the old Burago. Burago was indeed a place near Monza, named Burago Molgora. Ordinary little city, ordinary little suburb, but it was very, very famous in the 70s and in the 80s for the die-cast model, some simple detail, but still today very decent and sometimes also unique models, So this is the new Burago, overtaken by, I think is a Chinese group because it's written clearly on the end of their catalog that you can find online on the Burago website. And they anyway keep on the tradition of the company making die-cast. Usually the formula is a cheap price at a decent, affordable quality. These are items that usually you cannot find in a 1/24 scale. You could find back in time special items made in resin and so on, like alpha models and so on. That, in my opinion, is very, very close to this company because you see that sometimes they propose very similar subjects just made in resin. They made something like that in the beginning with the first Audi R8, where they propose a resin version of the die-cast model. The die-cast model was something for 20 bucks. Instead, the resin version was something for nearly 200 bucks. So I really have no idea of people that buy that Audi R8 that was still around, And so this is indeed the F12. It's one of the models that I would like to collect because I think I will never build them up even if they exist in an ordinary kit. I'm not so much inside ordinary street cars, exotic cars, and whatever. I mostly build up racers, as you well know. And indeed, this was a very, very nice reproduction of this F12. Many say it's one of their best, I'm not so sure about that because honestly, I taken other items from Burago, even for the same reason, for the cheap price and for the nice objects to collect, very well painted, It's okay. I mean, every time I used to say in my video that it's absolutely worth it for the price and the value for money, And what I can notice, is just that, for example, my model here have a spot of what I believe is vapor from charm acrylate glue, up there. So probably something went a little mistaken in the assembly. It can be probably easy to take it away. But I don't care so much. I don't take this model with any collector purpose. I just buy them because I like them and because I would like to have some of the latest Ferrari in my archive. I never say to say my showcase because this is not stuff for the showcase. I think the model is indeed quite well done. You can see some badly painted points here. Probably is because of the time. This is something that had to be produced in a very, very limited range of time between the assembly and the build. So there is a line where they paint the body, there is a line where they mount the wheels, and there is the one where they finally guy assembly everything and package it in the box, And this F12 is indeed quite well done. As you can see, there is just a quite flat reproduction of the engine. There is no deepness at all. There is not a real engine. It's just a plastic that gives the idea to say, hey, there is an engine, but this is absolutely no engine at all. It's just a plastic that gives the idea of the engine. Decently made. I mean, when you open that, you can see just the red heads and so on. I don't know if in the real F12 berlinetta you can really have that red covers of the headers. There is not the usual rubber spot over the opening part that keep it closed during the transportation, so it's also quite easy, I suspect, to have a scratch in the points where the parts touch themselves. There is another spot of the glue from inside, I think. So probably the assembly is something that is made in a quite cheap way. Also the paint from far away looks very nice. If you go deeper near, there is a little orange peel on the lower part of the doors, and the few decals, so the Pininfarina logo, the Ferrari logo, all over the car tampo printed, so it's a kind of stamp, not a real decal, you know. There is indeed the possibility to open them, little bit clumsy, you know, as usual. Is something that if you scratch too much, you probably will destroy and damage the paint that is already thinner on this side and corner, so better not to open them too much. There is a very simple a cockpit inside with different painted leather seats, you know. It's very simple and basic, but gives anyway the idea to have different colors. It's quite cute, you know, when you have red cars outside with a tan color inside instead of the ordinary plastic black that you can find on this model. The wipers are separated in two pieces. Sometimes they are molded in position or together with the transparent part. That is not so nice, but in this F12 it was made that way, so with separate parts. And that's it, you know. It's a simple model, very cheap, very affordable, and I think is absolutely worth the money that they ask for it. So it belongs to the Ferrari collection Race and Play. I think they made this different one. You see Race and Play, and in 32 scale, 43, 18, you know. So it's always in the Burago mentality to keep something cheaper, to admit everybody to collect some Ferrari items. Of course, this is everything made under the royalty and the license of official Ferrari, so it's okay under every point of view, despite a few mistakes in the assembly. This is anyway stuff that you have to remember is assembled hand by hand, one by one, sorry, by hand in different countries, so it's something that have been really taken in the hands of somebody that had to assemble it. Is not a machine making them, so it's okay to have some minor mistakes at this level of finishing, you know. Absolutely worth it. That's it. I think, as usual, I think they work over the line of these Ferraris with probably the 3D model directly given from the company, you know. That is probably after the fact that they are officially licensed by the Fiat Group, so surely they have a kind of help, at least in the external shape, because the line is absolutely well taken, and that is absolutely something stunning in this model. I mean, for this money, I just like to have the shape of this car, and this is absolutely taken, as well as the wheels, different from the previous Burago. This time are really nicely well done, so wheels and tires are pretty decent. There is also the possibility to spot the brakes inside, the brake disc. You can see better maybe, and you see, and so that's it. There is no side windows for the doors, but it's okay in this level of models, and my suggestion is simply to buy it. Simple like that. So that's it. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next one.